Today's social media segment is brought to you by Cardiovascular Institute of the South, providing our patients the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Bayou Time. I'm Martin False. We are at the Medical Atrium Auditorium at Terrebonne General, where a big award is about to be talked about in a big way today in the auditorium in a few short minutes. What is the award all about? Let me step out, let Dwayne Dupre talk about the only hospital in Louisiana to achieve the Coronary Intervention Excellence Award in 2025. Healthgrades, Ms. Maggie Foley will be here today. It's the Coronary Intervention Excellence Award. And once again, Terrebonne General Health Systems, along with the Cardiovascular Institute of the South, receiving this award. Once again, a prestigious award. Two partners who have been together for a long, long time. Excellence is a good word to describe both. Let's listen in now as the award and the presentations take place at the auditorium here at Terrebonne General.
Thank you all for coming this afternoon. We are very excited that we are definitely here today to get an amazing award. As you can see, the only hospital in Louisiana related to our amazing partnership that we have had for a very long time with Cardiovascular Institute of the South. So for those of y'all who don't know me, but I know everybody does, I'm Phyllis Peoples. I'm the President and CEO of Terrebonne General Health System. And you will also hear from Dr. Craig Walker, who I know needs no introduction, but on behalf of Cardiac Institute of the South. We're here today to celebrate a huge hospital achievement during Hospital Week 2025 of one of our long-standing partners in good health, as I mentioned, CIS. This achievement reflects Terrebonne General and CIS's commitment to providing the highest quality in heart care, not only in our region, but also throughout our entire state. Here to tell us all about our esteemed award, and we're very excited to hear about it, is Ms. Maggie Foley with Healthgrades, who personally came to present us with this award. So Maggie, without further ado, I'll send it to you.
Great. Thank you, Phyllis. Hello, good afternoon all. I am very glad to be here today. As Phyllis mentioned, my name is Maggie Foley and I am with Healthgrades. I've been with Healthgrades for coming on 13 years. And I am so excited to be here today and help celebrate and recognize the clinical excellence. Specifically, we are here to highlight the outstanding efforts of both Terrebonne General and CIS teams. Healthgrades announced for 2025 that Terrebonne General Health System is a recipient of the Coronary Intervention Excellence Award, placing your hospital in the top 10% of all hospitals nationwide for coronary interventional procedures. In fact, as Phyllis mentioned, you are the only hospital in all of Louisiana to achieve this award. Congratulations. And a little bit about us, for those of you who may be unfamiliar with Healthgrades, we are the #1 online platform connecting patients with hospitals and doctors. And we've been analyzing clinical outcomes data at hospitals nationwide for over 25 years. We use our proven methodology that focuses on what matters most to the patients, actual clinical outcomes. So for the 2025 Healthgrades Coronary Intervention Excellence Award, this award is based on your risk-adjusted mortality and complication rates alone. There is no opt-in or opt-out. We look at all short-term acute care hospitals nationwide. To drive home the importance of achieving this award, Healthgrades found that patients treated at hospitals receiving the Coronary Intervention Specialty Excellence Award had, on average, 46% lower risk of dying than if they were treated in a hospital that did not receive the award. That's a huge percentage. Being a part of that statistic and achieving this award is something you should all be very proud of, because it is a true testament to your unwavering dedication to the patient and their family and their health. With that said, achieving a Healthgrades award is no small feat. All of your awards are a validation of everyone's continuous efforts to put the patient first and deliver the best patient outcomes. On behalf of Healthgrades, congratulations to each and every one of you for this achievement. Together, you have made an extremely positive impact on the lives that you have saved. Congratulations again.
We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. More speakers, more important people. A big award, many years of excellence here at Terrebonne General between Terrebonne General Health Systems and the Cardiovascular Institute of the South. Right after the break, don't go away. You'll see people very familiar to you in this area. This segment was brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your partner is good health. When you speak of excellence, Dr. Craig Walker's name always is in the forefront. He came back to Houma from Harvard many years ago and made Houma his place of origin. However, they've expanded out, but with the partnership at Terrebonne General, they have created many, many procedures that are now used around the world.
This is really very nice. It's an external validation of something that we've worked very hard to do. CIS started in a very different way than most groups. Instead of every doctor doing everything, we asked people to specialize in certain areas because we thought it was innately superior to have one doctor doing 100 of something than 100 doctors each doing one of something. We've held our own conferences internally, continued to work, put on a big training program, and over the years, the difference for our Medicare catchment region in cardiovascular mortality and our difference in amputation-free survival has been the biggest delta of any Medicare catchment region in the entire country. It has been there, and we have had dedication in an effort to come up with these kinds of outcomes. I think being able to look at the whole patient, legs, heart, everything matter, because a lot of times patients with peripheral disease don't realize they even have coronary disease, and if we can get to it earlier, we save them people, or we can give them better support if they need it. So this is really a very important award. It's very important to allow patients in our region to understand that this is a great place if they need coronary intervention, if they need other care. We're going to certainly continue our efforts to be the best we can be, and we've had great young people. I think the legacy of CIS will last a long time. Thank you very much.
Excellent. That's a tough act to follow because obviously Dr. Walker, our founder, 43 years ago, really created a vision of behind a mission statement to provide patients in the communities we serve with the highest cardiovascular care available. And when you really think about that whole mission and what comes across from that mission is, I think, why we're here today. The efforts put forth by Dr. Walker, all of his colleagues. I get the honor to serve and work with all of his colleagues, as well as all the members of CIS. It really produces something special. And what I mean by that is produces something special in the aspect of a culture of wanting to make sure that we're always figuring out the advancements. Oftentimes, when we listen to the mission statement that we have at CIS to provide the patient's highest quality cardiovascular care, you kind of go, well, how do you achieve that? Well, you never fully achieve it. You always have to evolve. But to do that, it also requires great partnership. One of the great values that we've had here at Terrebonne Parish, throughout the Bayou region, is our partnership we have with Terrebonne General. That's been a long-standing partnership. Since 1986, there's been an agreement between both parties, which has been absolutely outstanding. And that partnership has allowed the expansion of technology, it's allowed the expansion of care, it's allowed the expansion of the ability for us to make a difference in cardiovascular care. Remember, still the #1 cause of death throughout the world. But here in Louisiana, something special happened. With that vision and the mission between both programs, if you look at the data that goes back, and something that I learned, and you looked at Terrebonne Parish many years ago, really looked in the Bayou region many years ago, we were actually ranked pretty much last in the treatment of cardiovascular disease in the early 80s. But today, you're looking at one of the top programs in the country, rated as one of the top, period, not only for cardiac, but for vascular work as well, which is a commitment that's been created between the alignment of the two parties. So the honor to be able to stand as the CEO of CIS and be able to say in front of all you that the commitment has worked, well, we're just getting started, because there's so much more coming. As you see the pioneers, there's so many new technologies coming, and you get to see what all of these gentlemen are bringing, and ladies, let me correct that, are bringing to Terrebonne Parish, to Terrebonne General, to CIS. It's absolutely amazing. So what a great honor, and thank you for having us here.
With that, we'll do our award for sure, huh?
Yes,
You wanna
absolutely.
step on
May I
over?
present to you Terrebonne General and CIS, the 2025 Coronary Interventional Excellence Award.
Guys, again, I know that we had an opportunity to talk about the relationship between Terrebonne and CIS. But I think all of you recognize, and that's why we have you in the room and in the organization, this doesn't happen by just the people who got an opportunity to speak. It takes our staff, it takes our processes, it takes from ER to the amount of care they get while they're in the organization, for the doctors to diagnose, for the nurses to treat, for clinical, non-clinical. It takes a village to make us win an amazing award such as that. So I know that we say thank you, Ryan, and thank you, Dr. Walker, thank you, Maggie. But again, I want to personally thank each and every one of you, not only in here but out there, who continue to do what's right for our community and our patients. And this is a commitment long past the strategic thoughts of us partnering. It takes y'all to do the day-to-day to ensure that the partnership continues to thrive. So thanks to each and every one of you. We appreciate it, and thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. And they got cake and something good in the back. Get some heart disease, and we'll show you how good we are. Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll take another short break. We'll be right back with more very prestigious award here today at Terrebonne General. Don't go away. This segment was brought to you by Cardiovascular Institute of the South, providing our patients the highest quality cardiovascular care available. This partnership that has gone on for such a long time. When I was interviewing y'all early on in the early years, I had to learn what a myocardial infarction was. I had to go to the dictionary, but this is a long lasting relationship. What does this award mean to you today?
Well, I think it's a testament to the relationship of CIS, and I bet Dr. Walker, he probably was there in the inception. And 40 years ago, I wasn't quite here yet.
Yeah.
However, believe it or not, actually, I probably was. But I was a nurse just getting out, working critical care. Dr. Walker probably didn't even know. And they had the vision of starting a cardiac program, and I had moved back home. I'm originally from here. And got to work in that environment at the bedside for, the beginning of my career. Ended up moving away, and when I came back, it was such a major, robust program. I've been in this role 23 years, but I've been through the system a lot longer, about 30 years. And CIS has always been an integral part of who we are. So the award, to me, is not so much a surprise, except a seal of approval, because we've been doing great work for a very long time. It's the benchmark of who we are and what CIS and Terrebonne stand for, and it's amazing. So it's wonderful to get recognized, and we'll take it all day long, and to be the only one in the state is amazing. But we always knew it, didn't we? We always knew it. Now you just got to know it.
You chose to come back home to practice in your hometown where you knew a lot of people and you knew what was happening. You knew they were all eating seafood, boiled seafood, and stuff we probably shouldn't eat, but you saw a need for it. How does it feel looking back then and holding an award today Sort of came full circle, did it?
It's big. You know, there are a lot of awards that we get. One award is the patients we see and seeing them get better. Just this week, when I first started 42 years ago and it opened up my doors, I was still unpacking equipment. A young man, 16 years old, walked into the office and said, "Doc, I need to see the doctor." He says, "Where is he?" I said, "I'm the doctor." I looked like a kid at the time. And he says, "I feel like I'm going to die." And in front of me, he collapsed. He was in ventricular fibrillation. He did, by definition, die. My equipment was still packed. We ripped through boxes, plugged in the defibrillator, shocked him. He came back and said, "Wow, that hurt." I saw him last week, 42 years later. He's a grandfather now. He was 16 when that happened. And he had an unusual condition, Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, had AFib, which became ventricular fibrillation, and collapsed. Now, I think that speaks volumes for the fact that heart disease needs to be treated locally. We don't have hours or days or months. Sometimes we have seconds to determine whether or not someone lives. Now, I'd seen that growing up. I'd seen just how high cardiovascular mortality was in our part of the world, and it was a big undertaking. You know, it's a big undertaking. We didn't have a cath lab. We didn't have people trained in cardiac care. We had to create a whole program. But it's like building a house. You can remodel something else, or you can build from scratch. And you can build something the way it should be built from the beginning. And I think the culmination of getting this award is because we built something from scratch along the lines that's ideal. So, for instance, we talk about excellence in the cath lab. That's not just from the equipment or the doctors. It's the team. It's everyone put together. It's the training they have. And in the cath lab here in Houma, it is not a revolving door of people working. It's people who've made their careers in the cath lab. It's not one room or two rooms. We have 4 cath labs that we do big procedures plus 2 hybrid rooms where we can do yet bigger procedures. So at any given time, as emergencies come in, we can handle 6 at a time if we need to. It's a very important, very impressive point to have the equipment we need so that we can ideally treat patients. Even more important, that we have the appropriate personnel. It is not just the doctor during the procedure. It's the person controlling the x-ray units. It's the nurses taking care and watching the vital signs and helping us. What we've had is 42 years of building a world-class team. As you know, doctors come from around the world to train here. And the first thing they all say is, "Wow, this is incredible. Turnaround time is incredible. People seem to know what they're doing." The reason they say that, that's true. We've really got unbelievable people. This is not an award that will happen once. It's one that's going to keep being repeated because we're doing the right things.
Phil, before I get to Ron, Dr. Walker mentioned it, the facilities here. I just want to explain to the people, these facilities are expensive. They're very top-notch. They're first rate. And the transformation with equipment that we saw from early on, before the 80s to now, is incredible.
Terrebonne General has a philosophy, along with myself, Dr. Walker, our board, of being able to invest in the best because we want to go ahead and support care in our community. There's a lot of other places, whether in our region or outside or throughout the state, that'll tell you that they have all the wonderful things to be amazing, but I don't know that it would vaguely compare to what we truly have. As Dr. Walker mentioned, we've got 42 years of an amazing service here in Houma. And if you have to have a choice of cardiovascular services, to your point, Martin, we've invested in not only the philosophy but the dream. And we've lived by it for 42 years. So there might be some new things that you see out there or new individuals, but it doesn't compare to the legacy of what we've had for a very long time.
You're a local guy. You came on board a few years back. Just in your own words, what did you see when you got on board? What do you know now? And Dr. Walker and Phil is holding this award. What have you been able to witness?
So I've witnessed a lot over the past few years. So I've been in cardiology for nearly 30 years. Started when I was 12, right? But what I've seen when I came here is really something special. I've gotten to work in a lot of different programs throughout the Southeast U.S. During the earlier tenure of my career. And everywhere you go, as Dr. Walker said, there was always kind of a revolving door. There was never something really stable. You would have turnover of physicians, you would have turnover of staff. And then there was never this sense of wanting this continuous ownership of making a difference. I think what's unique, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier, is that you got to start with having a vision, clear objectives of what you want to accomplish. And those clear objectives that you want to accomplish, in this case, was the mission that Dr. Walker wrote 43 years ago for CIS, was really to make sure that we provided the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Now, there's a lot of different ways that people can interpret that, but the real reality is that every decision we make is based off of quality. And the quality pieces is what drives success. You can put a lot of different equipment out there. You can put you can have a lot of unique devices, but if you're not applying it and you're not bringing all groups together, the team together, the cath lab team, the physician team, all of those into one unified vision, then you actually start to find that you're going to have pop-offs, things aren't going to go smooth. And that's what CIS has done very successful. They've brought the vision to life, and the mission statement continues to drive. As you continue to focus on quality, and quality continues to drive success, you're going to get great results. We've seen it. We actually experienced it. Going from one of the worst in treatment of cardiovascular disease and over the 40 years of going to the top, that takes time, a lot of effort, and it creates a lot of collaboration. It's not something you can do overnight, and it's something that we pride ourselves on.
And that wraps it up from Terrebonne General Medical Center with our photographer, Dwayne Dupree. Let me back out again. The only hospital in Louisiana to achieve the Coronary Intervention Excellence Award in 2025. Healthgrades presenting the Coronary Intervention Excellence Award for 2025. Terrebonne General Health System and Cardiovascular Institute of the South. Congratulations to both. We'll be back with more on HTV Channel 10. This segment was brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your partner is good health.